Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute, University, Madurai, Chennai.
A very good morning to one and all present here. This is Dr. D. Kavita, Professor, Department of Chemistry, first year ENT. Let's begin our Diksharam 2024 with the profound blessing of Almighty at day 8, first session. The future belongs to those who believe the beauty of their dreams. On behalf of our first year ENT, I would like to welcome our founder, Chairman Dr. A.C. Sanmugam Sir, President Engineer ACS Arun Kumar Sir, our Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Ma'am, Rector Dr. Vishwanathan Sir, Rector Provost, our Joint Registrar Dr. N.S. Subhasri Ma'am, and all other higher executives. Now, I would like to welcome today's our chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Ganesan, M. Ganesan Sir, Joint Registrar. It is my privilege to welcome, to introduce our first speaker, Professor Dr. M. Ganesan Sir, who is the Joint Registrar, Curriculum Development and Outcome-Based Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. Dr. Ganesan Sir completed his MTech in PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore. He obtained his PhD from Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. He has more than 35 years of teaching experience. He is also the speaker. He is also the special officer for the Dr. APJ AKG for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. He is the member of Technical Review Committee and had active role during the 32 and 37th Indian Engineering Congress organized by Institution of Engineers, Tamil Nadu State Center. He received Man Engineer Award from IET UK in the year of 2014. He participated in SAE International Conference as invited speaker in the year of 2017 and held at China. He organized many workshop, technical lecture and seminars at the Thiruvallur Local Center. He completed funded project of 54 lakhs from DRDO and AICT during 2021 and 23. He published 15 technical papers in highly indexed journal. He implemented outcome-based education across all faculties in the university. He is the executive committee member of IIT Pulse from 2016 to 17 onwards. He is the criterion in charge for NBA and NAC aggregation process. He is elected as Executive Council member of Mechanical Engineer Division of Tamil Nadu State Center of Institution of Engineers. It's a very honor to welcome to the section, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning to all the students. First year students who have joined our university in the year 2024-25. So you are all very fortunate to join in the engineering stream and also in Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute. So being the university, so the university has got number of advantages and also benefits. Just I would like to give a brief about the university. So this institution was started in the year 1988 as a Dr. MGR Engineering College, and in the year 2003, so the University Grant Commission has granted the deemed university status to our institution, and from 2003 onwards, ours is a deemed to be university, and also the university has been granted special autonomy status. So only for very few institutions with excellence only the government of India has awarded this status, in which our university is also one among them. And also our university has been accredited by NAC recently with a A+ grade. So NAC is an assessment committee. So National Assessment Accreditation Committee. So they have visit our university and granted A plus grade. And so you all joined the BTech degree in our institute. And normally in the BTech degrees in the any institute will be accredited by another board called NBA, that is National Board of Accreditation, so which is a part of AICTE. So that also only the institution which is having very good infrastructure and very good teaching learning process and very good academic excellence only will be granted accreditation NBA. So I'm also very happy to say all of you that our university, all the engineering departments have been accredited by the National Board of Accreditation (NBA). So all the engineering disciplines. So with this introduction about the university and about the engineering programs, so I am going to start the today's session. So once again, I welcome all the engineering students. So are you able to hear the host?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, audible, sir.
The host is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah. So I wanted to check before start. So I think you can start the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it available in the full screen, Mr. Saravanan? I'm not getting full screen here. Okay. Okay. So today's my session will be on the topic outcome-based curriculum development and assessment process. Next slide. So basically, we should know what is outcome-based education. So it is shortly known as OBE, and throughout the globe, the many of the premier universities and institutions have already opted for the outcome-based education, and our university has also gone for outcome-based education. So what is the difference between the traditional education and outcome-based education? So that as a student, you should understand that. So OBE is mainly a student-centric teaching learning methodology, and also in which there are various parts of OBE, starting from curriculum development, course delivery, assessment. So all these things are developed with some objectives and outcomes. So that is the meaning of the outcome-based education, and mainly it focus on measuring the students' performance, that is outcomes at different levels. Next. So it is also defined as an education process which involves the restructuring of the curriculum, then the assessment process, then the reporting practice, etc., to reflect the achievements of higher order learning. So there are different levels of learning technologies are there, in which this OBE focus on higher order of learning, and it is not merely getting the learning subjects and getting a pass in the subject. So it is more than that. So that is what outcome-based education, which is totally a student-centric education process, and it is not a teacher-centric education process. So how much students have learned, that is more important, rather than how much the teacher has taught. So and also in outcome-based education, the department will specify then various outcomes which the students are supposed to achieve at the completion of the degree course. Suppose students are joining the first year BTech. So when they complete the first year of BTech, and when they go out as a graduates, so what are all the outcomes they have achieved? So that has to be defined by the respective institution, and they should see that all these outcomes are achieved by the students by the end of the fourth year. Next. So why OBE? So that is also another important thing. So it is not only that is actually it's not a transfer of knowledge, but it's building the learner's competency. That is more important, and also it focuses on fundamental knowledge, then skilling, and also upskilling and competency in tune with the industrial requirement. Because the industrial requirement is not just knowledge. So today the industry requires knowledge plus skill and also attitude. So these are the three important things which a student is supposed to learn in the engineering institutions. So they should also acquire skill. So all those things have been taken care in this OBE. And also, so there are a lot of global challenges are there. So to achieve that also, the students should learn. And today, you know, it's the AI era, and also everywhere the AI is there. So it is AI is also a tool which can be used by anybody, not only by engineering. So the AI can be used by doctors. It can be used by legal system. So everywhere the AI is used today, all of you know that. So that is a requirement of today's students. So that is also another aspect why this OBE has been brought. Next, you go. So just I'll briefly explain about the various stages of the outcome-based education, that is OBE. So it starts with the OBE, that is outcome-based education, which is comprising of OBC, OBLT, and OBA. So what is OBC? OBC is nothing but outcome-based curriculum. So curriculum is nothing but it is a structure of subjects or the course which a student is supposed to learn from the first year till the fourth year. So what are all the subjects you have to learn in the first year, first semester, second semester, like that up to 8th semester? What are all the courses or subjects a BTech student has to learn? So that is given in the curriculum. So that is the first point of the learning. So the curriculum has been designed in such a way that all the outcomes are achieved. The second one is OBLT, where it is a teaching learning process, outcome based teaching learning process. And the last one is the outcome-based assessment. So all these things should go one after the other. Then only at the end of the that is the particular semester, students will learn all the objectives and also the outcomes. Next. So you are not showing full screen. Okay. So this is a basic OBE framework. So, so the OB, as I told you, the department will derive or define the various outcomes which a student is supposed to derive at the end of the BTech program. So, how these outcomes are derived? So, that is nothing but so any institution or the department should have a vision and mission. So, we are going to see what is vision and mission. And vision is actually we can call it as a long-term goal. So which tells about the aspirations of the institute or the respective department, how the department should be after some time. So that is the vision. So every department would like to go towards the betterment from where they are today. So that way the department can define the vision, and the mission is the various strategies or the methodologies to be followed to achieve the vision. So that is that way. For starting the outcome-based education, the department will start from the vision and it go for the mission statements. Then that will also go for PEO, PO, program educational objectives, program outcome, course outcome. So these are all the outcomes expected from the students. So this will be defined in the first stage. And for achieving these various outcomes and objectives, the curriculum development will be done, the teaching learning process will be designed, and also the various assessment tools will be used. And finally, the students will go for an evaluation process. So because once teaching learning process is done, the other side, how much the students have learned, that has to be measured. So then only we can know whether the outcome has been achieved or not. So for which we have a various evaluation process. So through the evaluation process, the institute can decide whether the outcomes have been achieved or not. If it is not achieved, then it has to go for some improvement, and again it will go for the redefining the various outcomes. So this is a cycle of OBE. Next you go. Next slide. Okay. So as I was telling you about the vision and mission statements. Okay. So I'll just give you some sample vision statement so that you will know what is meant by vision. Because as a students, when you join any institute, you should know what is the vision of this department. Suppose you are joining computer science engineering. So what is the vision of the computer science engineering and how they are going to achieve this vision through mission? So all those things the students should know. So I am just showing you a sample vision and mission statement for the computer science and engineering department. So just if you go through this statement, you'll know vision is to become a premier institution of excellence in computer science and engineering that would develop self-sustaining and globally competent computer science information technology professionals. So that is the vision of the computer science engineering department. How they are going to achieve? Through the various missions. So the M1, M2, etc. are the various missions. So for example, M1 says that by enabling the students with the best of technologies and knowledge emerging in the domain of computer science engineering. So they will expose you to the best of technology. They equip the department laboratories with the power of in-demand technologies and software for the on-demand industries. Because especially computer science engineering, the things are changing rapidly. So what was used last year, not used this year. So that way, lot of changes are happening. So in accordance with the changes in the technology, the university also in accordingly. Otherwise, once you complete the course, you will not be useful to the industry. So that is why the institution also, the education institution also should change the latest technologies so that students will be ready for employment at the end of the program. So this way, the vision and mission has to be defined by the respective departments. Next. So these are all the various missions, that is strategies which the department is going to adopt to achieve the vision. The next statement is about the PEO, Program Educational Objectives. Can you change the slide? Okay. So program educational objective, what is meant by program educational objectives? It is nothing but it is the program educational objective is teacher centric. So as per the teacher, when you undergo this BTech in mechanical engineering or BTech in computer science or BTech in AI or BTech in DS, at the end of 4 years, how you will be to the useful to the society. So that is what the PEO, how what are the knowledge you would have acquired. So that is the PEO. Okay, so next you go, next slide. Okay, so here this picture is showing how the PEOs are defined, because the PEO will be defined by the department only. So what is the process for defining PEO? Because these are all done for the students. At the end of the day, student is going to be the learner. So for the learners to learn and also to achieve all the outcomes, how the outcomes have to be defined. That is very, very important. So this is a stage. This is the mechanism by which the program educational objectives or vision and mission, everything is defined in the department. So basically, every department will be having a curriculum development committee and also an advisory board. So which consists of the professors of the department, HOD, and other peer members. They will sit together and discuss about what is the demand today in industry for mechanical engineer or a computer engineer, like that. Then based on that, they will define the various PEOs, program educational objectives, they will define. So also for the other outcomes also they define. So for defining this, how they are getting the input from the various stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders as far as the BTech engineer is concerned? One is the student. Student is a stakeholder. Then parents are stakeholders. Then faculties are stakeholders. Industries are stakeholders. Because tomorrow, after completing your degree, you are going to be with some industry. So industry also is a stakeholder. So all these people will consider and get their feedback. So from their feedback only, this whatever the vision, mission, PO, everything is defined. So this is about only to show you that how things are done in our university also. Next. So this is again, I will show you the various PEO 1, PEO 2, like that. These are all the objectives of a particular department. Here also I have taken the CSE department for example. For example, I'll just read one of the PEO. PEO 1 states that establish a career in computer science engineering, industry, government academics, and also work collaboratively with peers. So at the end of the program, the students will be in a position to establish a career. Career means job. They will have a career in any computer science engineering related industry or in the government sector. Or maybe next point is shown. So at the end of this program, students will be in a position to successfully pursue higher studies. So there are two options when you complete your BTech degree. One is going for a job. The other one is going for a higher studies. So that is also possible. Successfully pursue higher studies in the field of engineering etc., etc. Or you can also go for some entrepreneur. You can have your own startup. At the end of your BTech program, you can go for a startup. So these are all the various ways you can define the POs. To achieve all these things, how it should be done. So that is the next process, curriculum and other things we will see. Next you go. So the next outcome is a program outcome. So the program outcome is nothing but the graduate attributes or the generic outcomes of any BTech graduate. So when a student is after plus two, if he is joining a BTech first year, when he goes out of the institution at the end of the fourth year, what are all the generic knowledge or the generic outcomes students should have, should possess? That is defined as the program outcome. So this is also defined by the ACT, or it is defined by the NBA. So there are 12 program outcomes are defined. So any graduate joining in the BTech degree should acquire all these outcomes at the end of the program. Next slide. Okay, so this is a listed program outcomes. As I told you, there are 12 outcomes are there. Okay, so for example, engineering knowledge, that is the basic thing, no? So when you have come for engineering program only, so you should acquire the engineering knowledge through mathematics and some physics and chemistry. So these are all the basic sciences, mathematics and also physics. So with that background, you will be acquiring the respective engineering knowledge. That is the first one. The second one is the analysis. You will have the capacity to analyze any design, whatever you are designing, that you will be able to analyze. Then you will be able to design or develop solutions. So you will be able to create a new design. So that is also one of the outcome. So then again, conduct the investigation and for complex problems. So this next you go. So just I'll show you this. This will be available in all the departments. Once you join and come for the physical classes, you will be able to see what are all the outcomes, program outcomes any BTech engineer should possess at the end of 4 years. The next one has shown modern tools. So that is also in the 4-year period, you will come across number of tools. Tools means what I mean is the respective applications or the any software knowledge. So depending on your branch, for example, you are a computer science and engineering, so you will have a lot of CSC tools are there related to AI or data science. So like that, there are, again, Java programming is there, Python programming is there. So these are all the various tools which you will be using for some application. Similarly, if a mechanical engineer means he will also use various tools like he can use CATIA is a software which is used for the design. If it's a civil engineer also, you will use various computer tools for solving his any particular problem. So this is also a very important thing. At the end of your program, you should have knowledge about the various tools or computer tools related to, or IT tool, you can call it as IT tool, related to your domain of engineering, you should have learned. Then again, engineer as a responsibility, engineer in the society, that is also very important. Then environment and sustainability, that's very important. How you have to save the environment and also how to have a sustainable development. That is very important because tomorrow the nation building is in the hands of today's young people like you. So when you complete your degree and you should, when you go for any your further career, the focus should be on the sustainable development. So which will not harm the environment. That is very important. So you can have any development not at the cost of the ecosystem. So that is very important. Then of course you should have ethics, professional ethics should be there. When you practice engineering also, you should have certain ethics. So these are all the learning or the outcomes you will have. Next you can, next. Again, the individual and team. So that is very important today. So no longer you can work in isolation. I think this culture has come even some 30 years back itself when the IT companies have come. Today, not only IT company, all the engineering industries or companies, they have a teamwork. So only teamwork will work. So isolation, you cannot do anything. So you should have that ability to work in a team. You should have the ability to mingle with the other students and also other your committee members and work. So that is the culture of today's industries. So and also you should have very good leadership qualities, because you are in a team means sometimes you may be a leader of the team. So then in that case, you should have the leadership quality also. So that all those things you will develop here. Okay? The next is communication. That is very, very important. So communication skill is very important because, again, as I told you again, you are going to work in a team. So when you work in a team, maybe some 10 members are in a team. So whatever you do or whatever project you are in, so you should also communicate to the other members of the team. Then only the the total project will be completed successfully. So communication is very, very important. And today's the only medium of communication is the English language. That's very important. So because that is a common language internationally spoken, so you will also develop your communication skill when you are here. Then again, project management and finance. Again, it comes to the same thing. So when you are assigned a project when you take a job in any industry, you will be given a project, and when you should be in a position to manage the project properly, and also you should manage the human resource and finance, everything you should use it properly. So that talks about the project management. The last outcome is lifelong learning. So this is also very, very suitable today's context, because maybe 40 years back, if you take, or 50 years back, so they study something and they implement the same thing in their work also. But today you are studying here, and when you go for a job, things should have changed. So you should learn again. So there is no stopping for learning. So you should keep on update your knowledge. You should, otherwise you will be obsolete. You will not be considered for any of the task in any industry. So you should keep on. You should skill. You should upskill. So upskill is very important. Upskilling means the latest technology. Whatever comes as the latest technology, you should be in a position to learn that. That mindset also you should have. That is coming under lifelong learning. So that way, the AICT itself has given 12 outcomes, 12 program outcomes. Suppose the student is joining in BTech program. So these are the 12 outcomes any student should possess at the end of the 4th year. Next you go. Okay, then another outcome is a program specific outcome. So whatever we have seen earlier is for any BTech engineer. But for example, if you are a BTech computer science engineering, then what are the specific outcomes? Specific means specific to computer science. What are all the skill you should have? Similarly, this PSO will change. For say CSE will have one PSO. For mechanical, they may have another. For electronics engineering, they will have different skills, because that is specific to the domain. So that way also we are defining the program specific outcome. So in the first stage of the curriculum development, these are the various outcomes to be defined by the department, and to achieve all these outcomes, you should go for the curriculum design. So that is the next stage. Next you go. So now we are going for the curricular aspects. Curricular aspects means what are all the courses you will be learning. So I'll just show you as a first year BTech student, what are all the courses you are going to study. So this is the general. So we are following the credit system in our university, and whenever a credit system is used, you will have the your grading also. CGPA will be given. So you will have a grade will be given. Different grades will be given at the end of your examination. So and finally you will get a CGPA. It's out of 10. So that is the system of evaluation. So credit system is used here. For each course, some credit will be awarded depending on the content of the course and also the difficulty of the course. So normally for the theory courses in our university, we are assigning either 3 credits or 4 credits. So if the subject is involving some problems, it will be given some 4 credits, or some theoretical subjects normally we are assigned 3 credits. So similarly for the laboratory, we have normally 1 credit or 2 credits. So that is the way the credits are awarded for the subjects which you are going to learn from your first semester till the 8th semester. Next you go. So as a BTech engineer, so you will be having totally 167 credits. 167 credits you have to earn, out of which 38 credits will be from the first year, and 38 credits, and then 129 credits from the 3rd to 8th semester. Totally you have to earn 167 credits. Then only you will be eligible for your BTech degree. Next. So again I have given the same thing. BTech 167, MTech 68 credits. Next you go. So this is the way how the curriculum is that is designed. So as I told you, the various feedbacks from alumni, students, faculty, and industry members will be taken, and they will find the gap. What is the gap? So for a gap means what industry requires today, but what is your previous curriculum. So they will compare these two things, and they will identify the gap, and they have to fill the gap. Then only the students will learn the latest technology. So that way that they will find the gap, and that will be discussed in the curriculum development cell and also the board of studies in the department, and they will come out with the new curriculum. So which will be very much useful for the industries. Next. So in your BTech, this is the various the proportions in which the various components of the courses are included. I think all of you know about the theory and lab. So theory is a part where you will learn some theoretical concepts and you will be writing the examination. Laboratory is where you do some experiments or some programming and also do in the laboratory. So these are the two components normally you would have done in your plus two also. The third component is called ETL. That is a new thing we have introduced. It is nothing but embedded theory and lab. It is nothing but integrated theory and lab. In the theory itself, a lab component will be added. So that is ETL. So you normally in your first BTech curriculum, we have 69% of theory and 24% of lab and 7% of ETL. That is lab plus theory. So that is the weightage of the theory and lab. Next. So this will show you the credit weightage. If you see this pie chart, you can see that the program core is having only 43%. Suppose you are electrical engineering, so you will be learning electrical engineering core only 43%. Then program elective is around 9%. Then there is a component called open elective. So open elective is nothing but it is an elective from the other department. So our aim is, the university's aim is, you should also have the knowledge of the other department, multidisciplinary subjects. So with that intention, we have introduced a new subject called open elective, where you have to choose any one or two subjects from the other disciplinaries, so that you will have that knowledge also. Then we have interdisciplinary around 10%, I think, given. So interdisciplinary is mechanical student will learn electrical subject or computer science subject like that. So similarly, we have the skill component, very important skill component we have introduced in the curriculum. Again, project, basic science. So this is the combination of the various courses, various types of courses you will be learning in the 4-year period, where the open elective scheme and also the skill component is newly introduced for the benefit of the students. Because when you go out, you should not only have your domain knowledge, you should have the other knowledge also. Because today the emerging technologies, a lot of emerging technologies have come. So under the industry 4.0, also a lot of emerging technologies have come in the industries. So for that we have to equip our students also to possess this knowledge in the emerging technology. So that is why we are adding this skill component and also interdisciplinary courses. Next you go. Next. Okay, just this is to give the engineering BTech curriculum structure. I will quickly go through that. Next slide. So this is the semester one. Semester one courses, what you are going to study now. Basically, you study English, then mathematics, then engineering physics, engineering chemistry, then basic electrical, electronics, basic mechanical and civil, then C programming and MS Office, orientation to entrepreneurship, and also, so totally you will have 18 credits in the first semester. And also for the DS and AI students will study one more subject, Python programming in the first semester. So for them, the total number of credits will be 21. So these are the courses you will be studying in the first year. So you can see that here, orientation to entrepreneurship is brought in the first year itself. The university also encourages students in the area of entrepreneurship for startup. So the students should not only that is wait for the jobs, you can also create jobs. So that is our motto. So that is why we are starting from the first year. we are giving exposure to the entrepreneurship to all the students. Semester 2, next. So these are the subjects. Again, you have the mathematics, then solid state physics, chemistry, etc. And here also you are studying about the environmental science. That is also very important. Then one main thing is foreign language one. So foreign language one, we have introduced 2 foreign language for all the engineering graduates, BTech students. So because today the knowledge of the foreign language is also very important, because you may not be confined to be in India. Okay, you may be anywhere in the world. So after your thing, so you should have at least some knowledge about the international language. Maybe if you are interested in going to Germany, you can learn German. If you are interested to go to France, you can learn French or Chinese. Like that, any language. There are 7 languages are given. So out of the 7, whatever language you like, or whatever is your future plan, accordingly you can choose a language. So we are offering 2 foreign languages. That means foreign language 1 and foreign language 2 within these 4 years, so that you can learn to communicate with the other people. Suppose you are going to Germany and you want to talk with the people, some simple language, you can easily do that. So for that, we have given you foreign language, 2 foreign languages is included in the curriculum. Next you go, semester 3. So it is continuously, semester 3, we have one important subject I want to tell you about: the universal human values, understanding harmony is included. So because this today, that is the biggest problem. So there should be harmony among the people of the USA. So we are going to teach you about the human values, so what the students should possess. So this will only to improve the attitude of the students. So attitude towards the humanity, so that should be improved. With that intention, we have put the universal human values. Next you go. So again, you'll be learning Indian Constitution, Indian traditional knowledge, and you can see at the bottom technical skills. So we have also included 3 technical skills and 2 soft skills in your curriculum, because that is very, very important today. Okay, so just studying your subject is not enough. So you should also having lot of technical skills. So we have included 3 technical skills and 2 soft skills in your curriculum. Next. So one more course, important course, online course. So we introduced an online course. So you'll have some awareness in attending the courses through online, because nowadays most of the places they have the hybrid type of teaching learning process. So to make the students to learn from the online platforms, we have introduced one course through NPTEL Swayam course. Swayam course means self-learning. There are a lot of courses are available by IIT, various IITs in India. Have developed a number of courses, and students can attend these courses through online. So they need not come to the class and attend. They at any time, their convenience, they can attend the video lectures, and they can appear for the examination. That provision is also given in the curriculum. Next you go. So again, as I told you, soft skill, technical skill, there are every semester it's included. Again, a foreign language 2 is there. Next you go. Next. Okay, so this is the brief about the curriculum which you are going to learn in your 4-year study. Okay. So again, as I told you, there are 2 foreign languages also there. You can see the languages: French, German, Japanese, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. So any one language you can select, and you can do French 1 means French 1, French 2. German 1 means German 1, German 2. Like that, you study in 2 semesters. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, foreign language 2 also. The next, let us see something about the teaching, learning, and the evaluation. Next. So there are various pedagogies. So in olden days and all, when we studied in the universities, so we used to have only chalk and talk. So chalk and talk, the teacher will go to the board and he will start writing on the board, and we all listen to him. Okay, that was the only mode of pedagogy. Means the various teaching methodology. Various teaching methodologies are there today, but those days only chalk and talk were there, and also we had to depend only on the teacher and also the textbook. So if whatever teacher tells, we have to take it. But today you have lot of gurus. Not only teacher is one guru. Apart from that, you have a Google guru, you have a YouTube guru. So like that, number of gurus are there for you. Okay, so you can. Today the role of the teacher in the university is only a facilitator. He is only facilitating learning. So for learning, what are all the things you have to learn, how you have to learn, where you have to learn. So all these points will be given to you by the teacher. So you can learn, multiple avenues are there for learning. So various pedagogies is listed here. For example, chalk and talk is there, then seminar presentation, group discussion. You can discuss in the group, then quiz program, lab demos. So in the lab, you can show the experiments and gain the knowledge. Next. So vast list is there today. Again, Google Meet by presentation. So today also we are conversing. I am conversing with all the students, around 1,000 students, through this online platform only. So that way also you can learn. Then interactive learning modules, Google Classrooms. Google Classrooms are there today. Where you can have a virtual classroom where the teacher can put all the study material, and also you can submit your assignments, everything through Google Classroom. Then webinar is there, audio visual aids. Next. So it's a list of pedagogies which our university also using, the practical training, PPT, industrial visits. Next you go. So industry is also visit also we are encouraging, so that you can see directly what is happening in the industry. Again, teaching through models, teaching through demonstration, flipped classroom, internship. Next, these are the different pedagogies. Then again, case study and hackathons. So we conduct starting from first year, we are planning to conduct ideathon, because we want to improve the innovation of the students, innovation thinking. So among you, there may be a number of innovators are there. You may have a lot of ideas, but you should be guided properly how to make your innovation into a viable product. That is very important. So that innovation should be brought to the market also, for which we are conducting number of events like ideathon, hackathons, where you can show your skill or your idea, and that idea will be taken by us and it will be converted into some products. So that way also we are encouraging. Again, project-based learning, problem-based learning. So these are all the different types of learning. That is learning by doing. So that is very important. Instead of just learning from the book, you can do something. So that is where the project is kept. So in the project, totally you will be practically doing something. So that is always better, learning by doing. So that is the project-based learning is there. Again, problem-based learning is also there. So these are all the different pedagogies the department will be using. Next. Okay, peer-assisted learning, then online e-resources. Next, you go. Okay, so also you can learn by conferences, journal publication, design projects, self-learning. So these are all, again, research projects. If you are motivated to do research projects also, that is also one way of learning. Next. Okay, so when here also another point I want to tell is the how the learning can take place. So normally, again, the now in the recent times, the learning levels have emerged out. That is given by Bloom's learning levels are there. It's given by Bloom's taxa. Even in the high school onwards, they are following this. So we are also following with the Bloom's taxonomy levels. These are the different levels of learning. So maybe some of you would have come across this learning technologies. So the basic level of learning is the remembering level. Remembering level means you study something, you just remember, put in your mind and reproduce it. So whenever it is asked, you just reproduce and write the answer. That is the lowest level of learning. Lowest level of learning is remembering knowledge. You are studying something, by hearting something, and putting in your mind, and you are, whenever it is asked back, you are just rewriting. That is called remembering. So this only memorizing capacity will improve by this level of learning. The next level of learning is understanding. So you should not only remember the concept, but also you should understand. You should understand the concept. That is the next level of learning. It's a better level of learning compared to remembering. Then third level of learning is application. You understand something and whatever you understand, you apply in the real time application. So that is called the third level, that is application level. Then analyze. Analysis means you should be able to analyze out of 3 or 4 options which is better one. So that you have to analyze. Suppose you are doing some design, whether the design is safe or we have to change the design, for which you should do analysis. So that is the again still better level of learning. Fourth level. The next is evaluation. So evaluation means you should also be able to evaluate after the analysis which is the better one. And the last of learning is the creation. So creation means you should be in a position to create new product or new design. So that is the highest level of learning. By just learning some concept, you are able to create a new thing or a new concept. That is the highest level of learning. That is L6. So this way, our university want to improve you from the level 1 to level 6. So maybe when you are joining in the first year, you may be in the level 1 and level 2. And when you gradually go for the third, fourth semester like that, your level of learning should go to L3, L4, L5 like that. And when you are in the final year, you should go for L6. L6 means you are going to create a new thing, which you will be doing in your project work. So that way the various level of learning also you should know. This diagram also shows the same thing as I was telling, Bloom's taxonomy level. Starting from the lowest level is in the pyramid structure, you have the remembering level and you are going to the creation level. Next. Okay. So again, what are all the outcomes? As I told you, remembering and understanding is the lowest level, which we do not encourage the students. You should come out of this and you should go to the higher level of learning, that is applying the knowledge or analysis of the problem. So that way you have to go. Next. Okay, so now I would like to tell you about how the assessment is done. We are talking about the outcome-based education. In outcome-based, continuous assessment is also very important, assessment tools. So in our that is BTech first semester onwards, we used to conduct 3 continuous assessment tests. We call it as CAT. So CAT 1, CAT 2, CAT 3 will be conducted. And CAT 2, how we are going to this exam that I will show. Next slide. Yeah, CAT 1. CAT 1 is the first test you will be taking, maybe after 1 month from your first class, which will be conducted in an open book test. Because we want you to go through the textbook, that is very, very important, or the material. Okay, so that is the first stage. You have to open the book and see thoroughly the contents of the book. So for which we are conducting a CAT 1 as an open book test, which may comprise of MCQ and also the descriptive type. Then again, this is the first module. The second module is totally online MCQ. So you will be sitting in front of the computer and some 50 questions will be given on multiple choice question. So this will also improve you to select the best answer out of 4 answers which you have to select. Because so in all the competitive examination, when you complete your BTech also, whether you go for a higher studies or job, you may have to write some aptitude test, which mainly comprised of MCQ. So to develop the MCQ knowledge only, we are conducting in our university, in our exam itself, all the exams, we give some MCQ question. So you will be able to see the 4 answers given and see which is the correct answer. That is a very important thing. Even for GATE exam also, the same type is given. Then module 3 is a seminar presentation, group activity or participation workshop, because we want the students also to present seminars, by which you will be improving your communication skill and you will come to know the latest technology, what is happening, that you will collect the information and you will be presenting in the class. So that is a seminar presentation. Or you can involve in group activity, some 4 or 5 students together, small project, and you can do a mini project as a group activity, or you can take part in symposium, conference. So all these things we are encouraging the students, because students should involve in all these activities for improving their skill. So this also we are considering in the CAT exam. So that way the CAT 1 will be having the 3 modules, module 1, module 2 and module 3. Then CAT 2 is normally the descriptive type, in which you have a part A, part B. Here also you see MCQ is there. Okay, the duration is 1.5 hours. Then CAT 3. CAT 3 is similar to your university examination. It is just a trial for your final university examination. The exam is pattern will be just similar to your university exam pattern. You will have again Part A MCQ, then Part B again 5 into 6 marks, Part C 5 into 12 marks. So this is the pattern for the CAT 3, which is also followed for your university exam also. Next slide. So, I think you may be aware of continuous assessment mark. So, whenever you come for university studies, so you will be given two types of marks. One is a internal mark, other one is a university exam mark. So, internal mark only we are telling continuous assessment mark, because we are throughout the semester we are continuously assessing you. Okay, that is the mark through your CAT 1, CAT 2, CAT 3, which we are conducting. Maybe CAT 1 at the end of first month, CAT 2 at the end of second month, and CAT 3 before the final examination. So these are all continuous examination we are conducting, and how you are performing in this continuous assessment test, based on that we give mark. That is called continuous assessment mark. So for which we are, this is the breakup of the marks. CAT 1 we give 30% weightage because it is having 3 modules. CAT 2 we have 20%, CAT 3 we have 30%, and assignments will be given to you which you are supposed to submit, which carries 10%, and attendance 10%. So this is the way 100 marks is given for your continuous assessment. Next slide. So finally, the university examination, what we do, as I told you, continuous assessment we consider 50% mark, and university examination 50% mark weightage. Totally, we'll have out of you will be given a university exam mark will be given to you. Next. Okay, this is for the practical. So what I told about the theory earlier, now it is for the practical. 2 tests will be conducted. P1 and P2 are the 2 tests conducted, one at the middle and one at the end of the semester. And for these 2 tests, 78% weightage will be given, and 25% weightage for the attendance. Totally 100 marks will be given for all the practical courses. Next. So university exam result, how the results are published. Suppose you score minimum of 50% in the theory university exam, that is a must. In the examination conducted by the university at the end of the semester, you have to score 50% mark. Then next thing is, another condition is continuous assessment and university exam put together. That is aggregate mark of continuous assessment and university exam should also be 50. If these 2 conditions are satisfied, then only you are supposed to pass in a particular subject. Otherwise, you have to re-apply in that subject. Next. Okay, this is about the various result grades given depending on your mark. Again, 91 to 100 means H grade, 81 to 90 S grade, like that. Different mark level will be given a grade. So because here you are having a grading system, and for each grade a point is allotted 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, like that. Next. So this shows how CGPA is calculated for any student. So this is a formula for that. Okay, next you go. So this is about the classification of the class. So whether you are having a first class or second class, how they are doing it. So that condition is given here. If you are securing 9.0, more than 9.0 CGPA, and you are passing all the papers in the first attempt, from first semester to last semester, all the papers you should have passed in first appearance, and should score more than 9 CGPA, you will be given a degree with first class with honors. Next. Next is again first class with distinction. That's the next level. This is your CGPA is 8 to 9. If your CGPA is between 8 to 9, and you have to pass all the papers in the first appearance, then you will be given degree first class with distinction. The next is first class. Just first class means that is CGPA should be more than 6.5. But in this case, you might have failed in one subject, and next semester you would have passed the subject. So that way, if you are done and you have completed all the 8 semester papers within 4 years, you have to complete within 4 years. Then you will be given a first class. So if you are not coming under any of this category, then you will be second class. Okay, suppose you are completing after the 4th year, 5th year, or 6th year, you are completing the paper, and you are less than 6.5 CGPA. All these things, students will be getting only a second class degree. So all of you should aim to get at least first class and distinction. Next. Okay, so I'll just some of the salient features of the other provisions I'm just telling for your information, because first year itself you should be knowing about this. We are also offering minor and honors degree. So apart from the major degree, suppose you are a computer science student, you will be getting BTech in computer science. Suppose you want to get some honors degree, okay, then what you should do, you should select some emerging technology. For example, even if you are BTech CSE, if you are taking AI/ML as your specialization, so you have BTech CSE with specialization in AI/ML. So that will add advantage. That will add more value to your degree. Again, when you are going for a job, BTech CSE with AI/ML or BTech Mechanical with AI/ML, because today AI/ML is everywhere. The demand is there. So that way, if you are taking additional some 4 or 5 subjects with 18 credits, so then you will be given a major degree along with the minor degree or with a honors degree. So this is a very recent introduction by the AICTE. So I want the students of first year now itself you can decide whether you want to just only degree of BTech CSE or BTech Mechanical, or you want to get an additional degree within the same 4 years. You need not study the 5th year or 6th year, only 4 year duration. You can get a minor degree or honors degree. So if you want more information, you can talk once you join the institution. Then another thing, next. So this is all again about I would like to tell about the GATE Academy, which we are having in our university. This is the information I am giving to you because you should know that we have started a ACS around GATE Academy in our university. We are giving free coaching to all the students from second year onwards, because the second year onwards only you will have your subjects, that is your domain subjects will be there. So we are going to give coaching to all the GATE aspirants. I think some of you may be knowing about GATE. It's nothing but Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering, which the IITs are conducting for BTech graduates. Once you complete BTech, suppose you may go for you may like to go for MTech in IITs. Okay, in that case, GATE is very much this examination you have to get through. So for the again, the number of public sector units are also taking the BTech graduates as engineering trainee in their organization through this GATE only. So GATE is an examination conducted by IITs, which is useful for either higher studies or for your future jobs. So this exam is also very important for all the engineering students. I am giving information in the first year itself so that you can be prepared about for appearing for this examination. Next. So again, I am telling about another facility in the university, APJ Abdul Kalam Center for Entrepreneurship Innovation, because our university is encouraging the students to start up towards the startups. That is, even when you are a student, if you are having a business mind, you are encouraged to have a student startup out of university, or if you have some innovative idea, that idea can be brought here and we can convert it as a product. So for which we are encouraging. For that, this Abdul Kalam Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is helping all the students. So this is also another information I am giving you, so that even in the first year itself, because your senior students also, many students have come here and got lot of information. So you can also make use of this center for entrepreneurship and innovation. Next slide. Okay, so this is another facility in our university. We are already tied up with IIT Madras, so we have a IIT PALS partnership. So through this, our students can get lot of benefit from IIT. They have opportunity to go to IIT and visit their labs, and they used to conduct number of lectures throughout the year. Okay, some of the programs are about theory to practice lecture, thinkathon, RSW. RSW means Residential Students Workshop. So what you can do is you can go to IIT and stay there for 5 days at their cost. So they will bear all the expenses, and you can learn some new concept through some workshop. That is a RSW, Residential Student Workshop at IIT Madras. That opportunity also we can make use. And they used to conduct the annual that is competition called Innova. So Innova is innovative competition. So where a particular topic will be given to you, on that topic you have to make some prototype model and exhibit to the IIT Madras. And if your exhibit is really innovative, they will give a cash award, and also they will help you to convert this whatever you have prototyped to a actual product. So that also they help. So normally they give some topic emerging titles. For example, that is a technology for human health. That may be a topic given to you. So you should be able to use your own technology, maybe a computer science or AI, how that can be used for the human health. So that is that. Just I gave an example like that. The number of topics will be given for which you have to make some innovative ideas and present it. So these are all the things you can do in through the IIT PALS. Okay. Next is about apart from your curriculum, you have also the other augmentation program conducted in the university, symposium, workshop like that. Uh, okay. So just you can see seminars, guest lectures, demo, conference, industry visit, implant training. These are all the various avenues by which you can improve your skill. So for which number of augmentation programs are conducted. Next you go. Next. Okay. So these are all the MOUs list I have given for the which our university has signed for the students' skill development. Next. Yeah. Skill development means what are the different types of skills? Communication skill, leadership quality, ability to work in a team, then again software knowledge, foreign language. So all these areas we give training to the students. Next. Okay. So what are the value added certification courses? This is also available in the university for the various departments. For example, for mechanical EEE, we have AutoCAD, Auto Electrical, Electronics. So we have a tie-up with a Bosch training center through which we are giving training. And especially for CSE, if you take a number of MOUs have been signed with Cisco, Oracle, then Red Hat, then again IBM. So these are all the companies with which our university has signed for the value-added certification courses. Next you go. Next. Okay. So these are all the professional societies. You can be a member of NSAVE club or drone club. So because today drones are becoming familiar and it is having a number of applications are there. So that is why we also started a drone club. As a students, you should join the drone club and know about the design and also how to fly the drones. All those things are available here. The NSAVE club is mainly for energy saving. So energy auditing or energy saving, for which we have a club. The Institution of Engineer, IE India, is also there. Then also we have a space technology center in our university. This is the only university which is having a space technology center in the university for the benefit of students. So where we have all facilities for making mini satellites. So students can make satellites. So our student number of around 100 to 150 students are already there, members of the center. And you also can become a member of the Space Technology Center, through which you can go to the space area. That is also possible. And also, if you're interested in rockets or also in the satellites also, this is the best place for you. Again, CSI chapter is there, which is conducting regularly the program. Okay. So another thing is the international tie-up. I think already the in charge for the international tie-up would have given more information about the opportunities for the international tie-up. So already we have around 30 to 40 universities we have signed the MOU, through which we are sending our students to the foreign universities. So you are also having a very bright opportunity to study abroad. And recently we are also having the provision of semester abroad. That is, you can be a student of this university, maybe either third year or second year. One semester you can go there and be there and study. So that facility is also available. So these are all the points I wanted to share with you. And so I am very much thankful to the organizers for this opportunity to address our students. Okay, so I think students would have learned about what is outcome-based education, and also how the curriculum development is done in the university for the student-centric, that is learning methodology, and also a various assessment process which is followed in our university. So with this, I conclude my discussion. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Your valuable speech about our curriculum-based information. Hope it will be great helpful for our students' future. So now I have few questions from student side. Can I ask? Hello,
Okay, you can. So
hello,
close
sir.
பண்ணிடுங்க.
Can you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, the feedback sheet and attendance link will be open at the end of the second session. So, students, please stay connected to the second section. Happy morning to all. I am Vaishnavi C, lecturer, Department of English, first year ENT. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to of you all for the Diksharam 24-25 second session. First, I would like to thank our chairman, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir, and engineer ACS Arun Kumar sir for the constant support. And I'd like to briefly introduce Dr. MGR ACS Space Technology Center students for this session. The achievements and vision of Dr. MGR ACS Space Technology Center is a pioneer initiative of our university established in the year 2022. The center makes a significant milestone in our pursuit of excellence in satellite design and development.
Through cutting-edge research, innovation, and collaboration, the center has become a hub for the advanced satellite development activities. Our center proudly aligns with the Prime Minister Vision 75 Students Satellite Mission 2022 to design, build, to integrate, and test its students built satellite named as Dr.MGR-ACS Satellite. In this regard, our university has signed an MOU with Indian Technology Congress, ITCA, and TSC Technology Bangalore. The various perspectives on the design strategies are structured by an advisory committee presided by Dr. A.C. Shanmugam Sir, Founder Chancellor, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar Sir, President, Professor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Ma'am, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vishwanathan, Rector Sir, Professor Dr. Cyril Raj Sir, Additional Registrar. Dr. MGR ACS Satellite Development Team of 36 students and 14 faculty members from various disciplines were impelled through myriad of resource from various industries. Students of Satellite Center attended several international and national conferences and expos organized by In Space to gain an insight into the latest development in the satellite field. The center releases its bi-monthly magazine, Space Explorer, to enter the realm of space in your young minds. Students are delivered through internships at primary organization and aerospace companies. This year, a team of students intended to complete their peers across nation participation in Constant of India 2024 and in Space Rocketry 24 organized by Astronautical Society of India in association with ISRO. So I welcome you all. Without any further delay, I hand over the session to the students of Dr. MGR ACS Space Technology Center.
Thank you very much, ma'am. A very good morning to one and all present here. Excuse me, am I audible?
Yeah, you may audible. You can continue.
Yeah, okay. Myself, Pranav Kumar from Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, BTech IT. So, I am a part of Dr. MGR-ACS Space Technology Center, and we have developed a CubeSat, so which we will be giving a presentation and an overview to all the students who are present here. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Hello?
your screen is visible.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, I would like to start by mentioning the vision of Dr. MGR-ACS Space Technology Center. So you see, to pioneer, our vision is to pioneer the democratization of space through educational satellites, empowering students and institutions globally with hands-on, affordable and innovative space technologies, and to contribute to the growth and resilience of the space industry and educational ecosystem. Mission. We have two missions which we have in primary as well as secondary. The primary mission of us is to demonstrate and validate indigenously developed satellite systems in the low Earth orbit, and to enhance skills in developing high reliability systems for space applications, fostering a robust space tech ecosystem. Secondary mission is to establish a LoRa IoT Internet of Things network with inter-satellite communication capabilities, to create an open source network ground station infrastructure enabling seamless global access to satellite data via the cloud, to explore the potential for passive GNSS radar technology demonstration. Our main objective, our main mission is to work on the theme of fisherman tracking and communication, for which we have developed a prototype of it. Here, as you can see, here this is our CubeSat. Here, this is our CubeSat which we have developed. This is capable of establishing a LoRa communication. Okay, so next we will move on to introduction series of first overall. What is a satellite? A satellite is anything that orbits a planet or a star. You see, many people doesn't know that Earth is also considered a satellite, because you see it is orbiting around the sun. Earth is also a satellite, as well as Moon, the natural satellites. You see, satellites are categorized into two: natural satellites as well as the man-made satellites or artificial satellites. Natural satellites are the moons or the planets which which has formed naturally and revolves around a planet or a star. And as for the man-made or artificial satellites, it is something which we send from our Earth ground to the space. You see, we have known many rockets and satellites. We have heard of many things like Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan series, Apollo, and there are many others, Aryabhata, Apple, there are many others. And next, small sats. What is a small sat? A small sat, as the name suggests, is nothing just a satellite in small size. You see, typically a satellite, make a satellite based on the specifications and the payload. The amount, the budget may be very high. It may goes up to crores and crores of rupees to be manufactured and launched. But you see, as for the satellites, small satellites, it can be done under 1 crore or even 1 lakh. You can maintain it as per your payload. It is very cheap and affordable for many. It can be taken up by any institutions or individuals to be launched. You see, there are 5 categories: mini satellites. The mini satellites are in satellites which are in the range of 100 to 180 kilograms. Micro satellites are 10 to 100 kilograms. Nano satellites 1 to 10 kilograms. Pico satellites 0.01 to 1 kilograms. Femto satellites 0.001 to 0.01 kilograms. You see, the thing which I mentioned, the affordable thing will be from the nano satellites, pico satellites, and femto satellites. Next, what is a CubeSat? We were all talking about developing a CubeSat and doing this, that. Then what is a CubeSat? A CubeSats are a class of nanosatellites that use standard size and form. You see, CubeSats are satellites which are in the size of a cube. The CubeSats dimensions are standardized and mentioned as 1 U. Thus, U is called units. Okay, 1 U is typically a 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 10. It is a cube, so we have 3, 10 into 10 into 10. Okay, these are the CubeSats. They are very easy and affordable. Not easy, very affordable to manufacture and make. Next, CubeSat subsystems. This not only for the CubeSats. This is a general subsystem categories. This may increase or decrease depending on our payload and our depending on the payload as well as what we are planning to do. First is structure. A CubeSat structure is made so that the CubeSats can hold all the components in place. You see, when we are launching, it may be subject to many vibrations, shocks, and even heat. To protect our electronic components from these kinds of external disturbances, as well as to place it in the correct position, we use the structure. The structure has to be meticulously planned beforehand and designed, as well as it has to be manufactured based on the materials. There are many materials from which we can choose and manufacture our structure. And next is about the communication subsystems. Communication, you see, communication, we need communication to be established. There are many modules, RF, radio frequency modules, and there are many types of RF modules available for us to communicate with the ground station. The thing setup which we have in a ground is called a ground station, and the thing which we have in the space is called the satellite. Okay. From the space point of view, satellite is the ground station. From the Earth's point of view, our setup is the ground station. We need to communicate with the satellites. You see, we have to send commands like, this is the time to deploy the parachute. This is the time to deploy the antennas. The solar, now you have to shut down your systems, main power system, and use backup for now. These kinds of commands has to be given from the ground station to the CubeSats. Okay, these commands has to be, there is a onboard microcontroller available in the CubeSat. It will process all the commands and give instructions to other components like, this is the command, so you have to perform this action. As such, it will be giving up. Okay. And next is also in communication, it has to transmit the data from there to here. We will be sending these CubeSats for a specific reason, for scientific experimentations as such. You see, we have to measure the total ions or the amount of air present in air, aerosols concentrations, and solar radiation level. As such, we have to mention something like this. We will be sending the CubeSat for this purpose. So the CubeSat should be able to transmit those data to our ground station so that we can review it and use it for our analysis purpose. Next is electrical power system. This electrical power system, EPS, is the heart of a CubeSat or a satellite system. You see, EPS is like the heart of our human body. Without power, CubeSat cannot work or perform or do anything. We need power for everything. So this EPS is what gives power to all the components, which powers up everything. The EPS is divided into 4 types, like data distribution, collection, and power regulation. As such, there are 4 different types. Okay. And next is about attitude determination and control. The Earth's atmosphere, the orbits which we are going to launch, is classified based on the altitude. We have low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, geosynchronous orbit, polar orbit, sun synchronous orbit, and we have orbits like this. So every orbit has a desired, like if you want to monitor Earth in a close range, we will use LEO, low Earth orbit. But if you want to constantly view the Earth, for telecommunication or navigation purpose, we will be using geosynchronous orbit to launch our satellites. So the satellites, it tends to move away or move up or down the desired altitude. So for that, we have to control the orbit at which the CubeSat has to be. Next is about command and data handling. The command, as I have already mentioned, we have to give commands to the CubeSat, and the data has to be handled appropriately. And this will be ensured by this system, and also OBC, onboard computer. Okay, this is what I mentioned, the microcontroller. There are many microcontrollers available in the market. You can use Teensy 4.1, Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, and there are ST Nucleus. There are many such microcontrollers available. You can use it based on your requirements, and these are basically the same. You can just keep it inside. You can program the microcontroller board, and you can just dump the code into the MC so that you can use it on when in space orbit. Okay, next is the important thing, payload. You see, this payload is the very important one for which we are launching our CubeSat. Let's say that I want to measure the total radiation emitted by the sun which falls on the Earth. Okay, so I will be launching my CubeSat. So this will be payloads. There are many sensors. Okay, many sensors we will be using. These sensors will detect the amount of light rays it is falling upon, the heat generated, and many such things, and it will be sending the data back to our Earth. And not only for this, there are many scientific experiments we can conduct using this payload. So this is the main objective. Okay, so here on my Sam Daniel will continue.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam Daniel, and from here I will continue with the components used in our satellite's payload and how the data are being collected and being sent. So in this satellite that we have been built, there are basically five types of sensors that we use, in which we are getting totally 7 types of data. And what are they? And they're basically the temperature and pressure using the pressure sensor, the acceleration and gyroscopic angle using the gyroscope sensor, and what types of gas and their ppm measurements are being taken from the gas sensor. The light intensity is taken from the LDR, and the magnetic intensity is taken from the Hall sensor. So all of these sensors are getting their data and being transmitted to the Arduino Uno that we have been used in the satellite, and the Arduino Uno will change those data and will transmit them to the LoRa module, and from there this LoRa module will transmit those data to the receiver end in the uh, in the in the ground station, and from the ground station again LoRa module will receive those data and will transmit it to the Arduino Uno in the ground station, and those Arduino Uno will get those data and will show those data as a raw data. And what are those raw data that we are getting? So basically, and raw data is the unprocessed data that we directly get from the sensors or any components that we are using. In this case, we are using the sensors. So these raw data cannot be understood directly, so we have to process or we have to polish the data so that we can use it to our other processes. So how can this raw data can be used? So basically, in case of the satellite we are using, its gyroscope and the Hall sensor combined can be made into a simple GPS, because using the gyroscopic angles and the Hall sensor's magnetic intensity, we can create a simple GPS. And with also the pressure sensor and the gas sensor, we can also create an weather monitoring system by basically using the gas sensor's ability to detect how much water is in the atmosphere and how much temperature and pressure is changing with the temperature sensor. And with these raw data, by combining them and segregating these data, we can get all the other types of data that we need. And in this CubeSat, we have already mentioned all of these sensors that we used, and these are the specifications of all those sensors. For example, in the case of temperature sensor, the sensor we are using can detect up to minus 40 degrees to plus 85 degrees in Celsius. And in a case of the gas sensor, it can detect LPG, smoke, alcohol, propane, hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. And in case of the LoRa module can transmit and receive the data up to 10 to 15 kilometers, but those distance are dependent on the environment and the type of antennas that we are using. And after this, my friend Vinpriyan will demonstrate the CubeSat and also will further continue.
Hello, myself Vinpriyan. So I'm going to tell about the app which have been designed based on our payload. So our payload is fisherman tracking and advancement. In this, for that we have created an app known as Sea Savers. So in this app, fishermen can able to communicate with their family through this app. So we will have two devices. So one will be a modem which interface with mobile phones with satellite and satellites to ground station. This is a CubeSat which we have designed. It's an actual model of the CubeSat we are working on. So already my friend told about the sensors which have been used in this. So based on these sensors, GPS location, services, requests, SOS, and help around, all these features will be enabled through their mobiles. Okay. We will see a small demonstration of how this CubeSat works. So this will act as a CubeSat as a transmission and receiving module. Okay, this is a satellite. Here Here we are having a sensor. It acts as a ground station, and it has a receiving antenna at the ground station. Here we are receiving data from this cube satellite like temperature, humidity, pressure, gyroscopic angles, etc. This is the one we are working on from here. From here, my friend Harishal will continue about the history of ISRO.
Good morning, guys. Myself Harishwa J from fourth year DSNAA. So I'm going to say about the history of ISRO and the milestones of ISRO. Let me share my screen. So we'll cover ISRO's vision and early days of ISRO and one umbrella. What is this? One umbrella is various space activities which is ISRO is leading. Though I will be seeing about ISRO centers, various centers across. Across India will be like looking into about it and applications. What are the applications of ISRO and what the satellites of ISRO doing, and those things will be covering in this session. So this is Indian space vision. So we have various missions, that is planning, sending humans to the space, interplanetary missions, and various missions like Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, and Chandrayaan 3, and even Mars orbital mission, that is Mangalyaan. So these are the things currently ISRO is doing, and we have much more missions in the upcoming years. So early days of ISRO. It was bought on cycle and a satellite on a bullet card. The first communication satellite was Apple satellite that was bought on a bullet card for testing. So our university chancellor, R.M. Vasagam sir, was the project director of that mission, Apple satellite. So Nike Apache, first sounding rocket from Tumbo on 21st November 1963. During the early days of ISRO, they have built a sounding rocket. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam played a keen role in building the sounding rockets, and Vikram A. Sarabhai also played a major role in doing that. So various requirements. So this is what I said, all under one umbrella. So all the satellites, launch vehicles, and satellite applications and ground satellites. Obviously, there will be various purpose satellites we are launching. So launch vehicles, there are a set of launch vehicles which ISRO has, that is SLV, satellite launch vehicles, PSLV, polar satellite launch vehicles, GSLVs, and various and SSLVs, that is small satellite launch vehicles. So launch services, we have a Sriharikota launch base where our rockets are being launched into the orbit. And in Tamil Nadu, like they are building another one launch station. Soon it will be like integrated. And ground segments, we have SAT, that is Satellite Application Center in Ahmedabad, which deals with this satellite telemetry data and everything. So ISRO centers, these are the major ISRO centers located across the India. So in Tamil Nadu, we have IPRC, Mahendragiri, we have this center. So ISRO's feet, first starting with SLV3, they established these kind of heavyweight launch vehicles. For example, SLV3 was the first vehicle like ISRO built, which would be weight. This height is around like 22.7 meters. So it has done 4 launches, and ASLV, asynchronous satellite launch vehicle. So these has done 4 launches, and PSLV. This is a familiar vehicle. Why? Because we have launched Chandrayaan mass orbital mission, that is Mangalyaan, and our recent Aditya L1 mission using this PSLV launch vehicle, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, which has done 59 launches till now, and GSLV MK3. This launch vehicle played a major role in ISRO's satellite launches and interplanetary missions. For example, Chandrayaan 2, GSLV MK2 was played a major role in launching satellite in the orbit. So this GSLV MK2 and MK3 have a cryogenic engine propulsion system. So actually this technology has been like, we got it from Russia, but our scientist Nambi Narayanan sir has played a major role in developing this cryogenic engines. So GSLV MK3, this is known as the Bahubali rocket for Indian Space Research Organization. So recently Chandrayaan 3 carried around 3,900 kgs of weight. It could able to carry around 4,000 kg of weight, but in recent mission Chandrayaan 3 it carried 3,900 weight of payload in Chandrayaan 3. And this is what we see. This is SSLV, the small satellite launch vehicles. It has completed 2 launches. Recently ISRO has launched student-built satellites using this vehicle. So satellites and its various applications. So if we are going to talk about satellites, it may not have a single mission. So various applications will be there in this satellite. So first, communication satellites, remote sensing satellite, scientific payload satellite, experimental satellite, navigation satellites. So communication satellites, we have launched 48 communication satellites in total, starting from GSAT, INSAT, and INSAT 4, INSAT 2. And out of 48, 21 satellites are operational. Operation means like it's currently working. Remaining 17 satellites are been like, its lifetime has been ended. This communication satellite plays a major role in telemetry and meteorological broadcasting. For example, cyclone monitoring, weather forecasting, everything will be carried out using this communication satellites. And remote sensing satellites. These remote sensing satellites play a major role in capturing the LiDAR images of satellites and used to analyze the tropical weather changes of the world. So scientific payloads. So we have launched 8 scientific satellites. Includes Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3, MOM, that is Mars Orbital Missions, and Aryabhatta, and AstroSat. These satellites does not like it's just a mission where it goes and does some payload testing in the it's useful in interplanetary missions. And experimental satellites, we have like launched many experimental satellites for enhancing new techniques and to like ensure that is like really further research can be done in the space. So navigational satellites, currently you might have heard about navigational that is Navic chips. So in recent iPhone models, that is they are using Navic chips. Navic is a Indian GNSS service which is completely built by Indian navigational satellite. That is Navic is 7 constellation satellites. So India has launched nearly 30 Indian satellites and nearly 400 foreign satellites from 36 countries. So satellites application, as I have said, satellite is used for Earth observation, satellite communication, climate and environmental changes monitoring, navigation and disaster management. So these five topics are mainly required, main applications of the satellites. So satellite communication. So Indian National Satellite System established in 1983. Actually, the first Indian national satellite system has been established in 1983, and services for this communication communicational satellites does these kind of jobs, that is telecommunications, rural area connectivity, disaster warning, and ATM and stock market. These some set of satellites have been launched by ISRO for various purposes, for even for rail tracking and broadband in train has been took care by some specific satellites. So satellite communication, tele-education. Now ISRO has started tele-education program, which is started by 2001, and still now it's been going. So various satellite communication educational concepts have been ISRO has been launching. So satellite communication, telemedicine. So telemedicine program started in 2001. 384 nodes across the country, 60 specialty hospitals, 306 node are rural district hospitals and medical colleges, 18 mobile telemedicine units, telemedicine networks, monitoring facilities. These are the images of the telemedicine nodes in India. So what is a major benefit of telemedicine? Improved connectivity in remote and rural areas for healthcare services with access to super specialist hospitals, significant cost savings, timely advice to save lives, continuing medical education for doctors, medical students, and training to rural healthcare providers. For example, these satellites will be helpful in rural areas, to monitor the telemedicine things. So Earth observation, cyclone monitoring. So one of the main motto of the satellite application is to monitor the cyclone. So more than as you could see the data over here, started as a tropical depression of Gulf of Thailand in October 23. Monitored using this INSAT and IMD satellites are used by ISRO to monitor the upcoming cyclones, if at all any much more precaution has to be taken. So these are the images captured by INSAT 3 and 3DR satellites. So Earth observation for agricultural purposes. So for example, for precise agriculture, yield distribution, soil status monitoring, we use different set of satellites, that is RISAT satellite for monitoring the agricultural purposes. So Earth observation satellites for fishing. As fishing plays a major role in India, we launched Ocean Sat for monitoring the fishing territories in India. So Earth observation, national resource management. These are the various applications of satellite. So this is organization. So using lidar images, we can do 3D mapping and reconstructions for well beneficial of the routes and those things. Security surveillance. As Narcotic Control Bureau of India analyzed ISRO satellite data, opium farming in Himachal Pradesh state. Opium is a drug. The Himachal Pradesh has been have been done this plantation. So using this Indian satellites data, NCB has found out that they have been manufacturing and cropping opium, and they have took their initiative and they have banned those things. So navigation, this is what I've been told in the previous slides. So navigation is a 7 constellation of satellites. So you have heard about Starlink. It's a constellation of satellites where Elon Musk is providing internet services throughout the world using those satellites. So India, this is a constellation of satellites. You might have heard about star constellation. So constellation is every 7 satellite will be interconnected with each other. So why we are doing this Navic systems? So this GNSS India is developing is for only for Indian usage. So where if at all any world war, any dispute between our country and other country happens, if NASA is shutting down the GPS system, no one can get the GPS locations. For that, India is developing this Navic chips. So major benefits of Navic: terrestrial, aerial, and marine navigation. For example, we are using this Navic chips in our CubeSat, which will help fishermen to mark their fishing boundaries. So these things we can't get it from the GPS which we are using right now from NASA. So location-based services, fleet management, geographic data collection and surveying, disaster management. So Navic is also useful in disaster management. So as I said before, now current Apple iPhone models are using Navic chips. Other smartphones like Poco, Xiaomi, Vivo, and OnePlus are integrating Navic GNSS in their phones. So over onto the scientific missions of ISRO. That is first mission, Chandrayaan-1 now. So this mission was successful. It has been launched using PSLV rocket, PSLV C-11. So objectives of this mission to expand scientific knowledge about the moon, to upgrade India's technological capability, to provide challenging opportunities for planetary research to the younger generation. Actually, Chandrayaan-1 is a mission, ISRO's mission, which found water molecules on the moon. So mission to the Mars. Actually, Mars orbital mission is a successful mission in the history of ISRO. So this Mars orbital mission has been done by PSLV XL, that is the launch vehicle. So with those, with limited resource, we have reached 250 million kilometers of distance to the Mars. Our Mars Orbiter Injection MOI satellite has been deployed into the Mars orbit, and it studied about the Mars surface and whether human can live in the Mars. Those things has been done by this orbiter mission. So Chandrayaan-2. This Chandrayaan-2 is a major setback for ISRO. Actually, the orbiter was successful, but the lander was failure in Chandrayaan-2 mission. So recently they have been said Chandrayaan-2 was the teacher and Chandrayaan-3 was the student. Chandrayaan-2 realized as what are the mistakes we have done, what are the things we need to correct. Based on this information provided by the Chandrayaan-2, the Chandrayaan-3 mission has been been a successful thing for us. So this Chandrayaan-2 has been launched by GSLV Mk3, that is heavyweight launch vehicle of ISRO, spacecraft and landing platform with the moon rover. We have planned for a soft landing in the moon, but we couldn't be able to accomplish that due to some connection error. So the rover moving on wheels will pick up samples of soils or rock, do chemical analysis, and send the data to the orbiting spacecraft. This is the major objective of the mission, but later on, due to some issue, it didn't go up good. But in Chandrayaan-3, they have achieved this. So this is all about the Chandrayaan-2 mission, and we are moving on to Chandrayaan-3. So objectives, approach, and solution will be covering in detail about Chandrayaan-3. So these are the ignition stage of the Chandrayaan-3 mission. So this is the lift off video of the Chandrayaan.
Start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Chandrayaan-3 mission has been launched from Satish Dhawan Space Research Center, that is Sriharikota launch pad. Separation of igniters. So once the payload reaches the outer atmosphere of Earth, the segmentation will be taking place.
space equal to 14 Earth is.
So this is the lunar transfer trajectory orbit of Chandrayaan-3. So these are the modules which these are the payload modules which went to the moon. That is lander module, intact module, and propulsion module. So propulsion module consists of these sensors. So for transmitting, we have TTC antenna and star sensors, shape payload, and this is 440 Newton liquid engines, and those things we have in the propulsion module. So lander, it consists of various sensors, and we have this is the star sensors and LRA, and those things we have in lander module. So this is the Pragyan rover which landed in the moon and tested the sample of the moon and sent it as the data.
No one successfully landed near the moon's south pole before.
This will be the most crucial part, the terminal descent.
Sir, we have achieved soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
It is glory for India. Thank you, Team ISRO, for making India proud. जब भारत ने चंद्रमा पर तिरंगा फहराया, उस दिन को अब नेशनल स्पेस डे के रूप में मनाया जाएगा।
So the commemoration of successful landing of Chandrayaan-3 in moon, we are celebrating 23 August as National Space Day. So moving on to Aditya L1 mission. Once after the successful landing of Pragyan rover in the moon, ISRO has extended its exploration towards Sun. So Aditya L1 is a mission which studied the behaviors of Sun, coronal effects of Sun, and various reactions as the Sun does. This is the overview of Aditya L1 mission. So actually, Aditya L1, the L1 is the Lagrange point where it's the point where the Earth's gravity and Sun's gravity subside. So way forward to 2047, ISRO's future missions will just take a look into it. So first one is Mars landing. So Mars landing is a main ISRO's mission to successfully land a rover in the Mars surface and to examine the things in the Mars, whether habitation can be done in Mars and planetary humans can go on live in Mars, and those things can be done using those Mars landing missions. So moving on to space station, as we have International Space Station ISS, and India is planning to set up their own space station to do more studies on this outer Earth atmosphere. So extravehicular activities, robotic missions in the various planets, and global Navi. So now India is doing this Navi constellation only for India. Once after achieving this feat, India is ISRO is planning to do it in a global way. So moving on to this reusable launch vehicles. And once for the space debris, what is space debris is once you are launching a satellite or a launch vehicle, once after its use, that became a waste over there. So these are known as the space debris. So constructing and building a reusable launch vehicles may reduce the space debris. So ISRO's technological roadmap. So 2023 we have achieved this feat, Chandrayaan 3 and Aditya L1. And moving on to this, 2025 India is planning to send humans to space, human to space program, that is Gaganyaan mission. So a space station by 2035. Semi-cryogenic engines. We have like cryogenic engines now. Like India is like developing semi-cryogenic engines for the welfare of launch vehicles, space robotics, and space debris management. So apart from this, ISRO is also planning for the quantum communication and AI/ML based astrobiology. So human space flight project, Gaganyaan mission. So this is the human launch vehicle and test vehicle. So crew model and service model over here. So these are the set of things ISRO is planning for space flight project. So Gaganyaan mission, as I said, ISRO is planning for the Gaganyaan mission that will be launched by 2025. The cost of this mission is 10,000 crores. India to be the fourth nation to launch a manned space flight mission after US, Russia, and China. US, Russia, and China already tested this manned space flight missions. ISRO will be joining the list as fourth nation for achieving this feat. So further voyage, as I said, Gaganyaan mission, Chandrayaan 4, they are planning for Chandrayaan 4 and SSLVs. This is small satellite launch vehicles. For example, small satellite launch vehicle, as our team explained about the CubeSat. So student developed satellites can be launched using this SSLV satellites. This can consist of students' payload. For example, monitoring the biomass percentage in the low Earth orbit, or we can use any LIDAR-based payloads for managing the tropical weather changes and those things. So Indian Space Station, that is planned on 2035. So India Space Station, ISS, evolved over a decade. Testament to team. These are the specifications where India Space Station will be like having. So cost of ISS in 2010. So when NASA has built their ISS, it costed around 12 lakh crores. So India's vision to build by 2035. So the estimation needs to be made. Till now, they didn't do the estimation. So space debris and mitigation. So as I said, 1957, there is no space debris in the orbit of the Earth. 1992, as various space agencies, NASA, Russian space agencies, China space agencies have been launching a number of satellites. Once after its use, the satellites became as debris, that is waste. So as you could able to see, 2050 now, how much space debris has been like surrounded over there. Once this space debris keep on increasing, the upcoming satellites cannot like have a proper path to revolve around the Earth. So task ahead, mission to Venus. They are also planning ISRO is also planning mission to Venus. So Earth closest neighbor. This is Venus is the closest planet to the Earth. Completes an orbit every 224.7 days. That is, it revolves around the sun 224.7 days. Venus has the most impressive greenhouse warming. What can we learn from knowing about Venus got so warm? So mission to Venus, velocity record. These are the things that has been already did. So space tourism. So commercializing space tourism is a main concept now. Many startups are doing that. So space tourism will open up a new startup platform for many youngsters. So like anyone interested in these things can do research and can start their own startup. So space, as I said, space startups in India. So these are the various space startups which evolved in the past few years. So space touching lives, communication, agriculture. These are the space things which you can do. So so satellite communication, weather forecasting, everything we have done. So as we come to an end, so space technology doesn't have an end. The explorations will be keep on going. Once you conquer Moon, you'll be like going on to Venus, Mars, Mercury, and those things. The space technology doesn't have an end. So whatever the domain we study, either it is CSE, PCE, IT, whatever the department we are in, space department has a huge opportunities for us. So take a step into it and do more explorations on space technology and be successful in your life. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, students, for your great presentation on Cube Satellite Erudition. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtue, but the parents of all the others. First, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. M. Ganesan, Joint Registrar Sir, and Dr. MGR-ACS Space Technology students. Insightful and thought-provoking speech. Your words have inspired us and added greatest value of our event. We are truly grateful for the time and efforts you have taken to be here with us. A special thank you to our respected chairman, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam Sir, Honorable Engineer ACS Arun Kumar Sir, Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Rector, Provost, Registrar, Additional Registrar, and Deans and Deputy Deans, and other HODs of various departments. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. N.S. Subhashri Ma'am, Joint Registrar, First Year ENT, for the guidance and support. To all the participant attendees, thank you for your enthusiastic, active engagement and your participation. Made the event meaningful and successful. Once again, thank you. Have a great day. Dear students, the attendance link and feedback form is posted in the comment section. Kindly give your attendance.
இது எங்க வாழ்க்கையில ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷலான டே. எங்களோட ப்ரொஃபஷன்ஸ் வேற வேற. நாங்க யாரும் நெய்பர்ஸ் கிடையாது, சைல்ட்ஹுட் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸும் இல்ல. ஆனா எங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு ஒற்றுமை இருக்கு. நாங்க எல்லாரும் ஒன்னா உருவானோம், ஒரே பாதையில. எங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு அழகான நட்பும் இந்த சமுதாயத்துல ஒரு உயர்ந்த அங்கீகாரமும் அமைச்சு கொடுத்து இந்த உலகத்துக்கு எங்களை அடையாளம் காட்டினது எங்க எம்ஜிஆர் யூனிவர்சிட்டி. Our university united us.
Dr. MGR Educational and